Hello and welcome to a tutorial on HTML. I am currently making this tutorial for my CS1030 class, but I'm not precluding the fact that I might use it for another class in the future somewhere. So if you're watching this from the future, hello from the past. If you're watching this 2 days after I made it, hi CS1030 students. We do a lot of web design and programming in my other computer class I'm teaching right now, but in this class we just do 1 week of it before moving on to other things. So we don't really spend much time, but it is important that you know HTML and that you know at least a little bit about how it works, because it is the language of the internet. It's the language that makes the internet work. The internet was designed around HTML and how to make HTML work, but now I'm getting ahead of myself. The first thing I want you to do is find REPL.it. This is a wonderful website that I have used quite a bit for all my classes. It's a helpful tool for learning how to program in any language and to begin programming in that language. It only allows you to do up to a certain amount of lines. If you get more complicated, you're not going to use this as much, and that's okay. But this is great for beginners, and it's easy. It's in the cloud, so you can access it from anywhere in the world. You can work on it from any device as long as you log in. And you can share things really easy, which I'm going to show you how to do at the end of this tutorial. You're going to, after logging in, you're going to want to log in or create an account using Google or something like that. You'll get to a home page. You want to find this right here, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. It might be under here in all languages. So you're going to want to find it. It's recommended for me because I use it a lot when I'm teaching. So I also teach Python and Java there. That's why they're there. So you're going to want to click that, and it will eventually take you to something that looks like this. Now, they have helped you out. They've gotten you going right here on some things. I'm actually going to just talk it to you from scratch. So go ahead and just delete all of that right there. Just delete it all. And then now when I run it, yeah, it's blank down here. So yeah, before I get going, let me give you a little bit of an idea of HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. As I just said, HTML is the language of the internet. The internet was designed to send HTML between machines. That is how the network was designed. If you remember, there's an HTTP protocol, which is the protocol of the internet, that is the protocol which transfers hypertext. It stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So HTML is hypertext markup. Think like word processor. You're just marking up text. You're making it look pretty colors. You're making it do pretty things. And anything that is sent via HTML has to be sent as a text character. Has to be sent as characters. And so if there's an image, it's sent as a character. That image counts as one character, and HTML reads that image and displays that image as if it was an H. It might display it as a really big picture, but it's still a really big H. It's very similar. However, when the internet took off, there was a problem because people were wanting to use the internet to transfer more than hypertext. They were wanting to use it to transfer movies and to transfer videos and to upload things like that. And then they wanted the HTML to do things like games. They wanted to transfer games. They wanted to transfer programs. HTML is not a program. It's just text that looks pretty. It's a very basic program, if you could call it a program. Then there was this other problem. So you had two problems. One is people wanted to transfer programs and files, programs and games and other things on the internet. The other thing is they wanted browse as more and more different kinds of internet browsers came out, they interpreted HTML differently. And so what was blue on one screen might appear green on another screen, might appear red on another. That's the idiosyncrasies of early HTML. They've solved a lot of that now. So they had to invent two other languages that are then interpreted through HTML. And that's why you have these three languages right here. So HTML, in fact, I already wrote it all down right here for you. HTML is what your website is. HTML is the language used to define the content of your website. So if I was a website right now and you were programming me, you would program things like my height, my weight, my ethnicity into HTML. You would say, because those are things that are just who I am. Those of you who know Spanish, we might say that, this is the ser, right, of the website. This is who I am, right? At my core. And so then CSS are the clothes your website is wearing, which we'll talk about at the end of this tutorial when I show you some CSS styles. And then JavaScript is what your website is doing. So once again, if you were to make me a website in HTML, you would say he's a male, he's 6'2", brown hair, brown eyes, you know, Caucasian, but on the darker side of skin of the Caucasian spectrum. So that's the things you'd put in HTML and CSS. You'd be like, he's wearing socks, shoes, a blue shirt. And then JavaScript is he's teaching. He's yelling at his computer in the middle of his church office. That's literally what I'm doing right now, recording this in my church office. So that's why we have those three languages, because HTML, you can't make a game in HTML, at least not a very good game. You can't do Minecraft in HTML. You can do Minecraft in JavaScript. You can do font styles and colors in HTML, but it's limited and it's chaotic and everything is different. So they created CSS. CSS, by the way, stands for Cascading Style Sheets, which is just a fancy way of describing how it works. Your browser will look first to CSS, but if HTML overrides it, it will then go to HTML. It's a very fun and versatile language. If you take my other class, we go through a lot of CSS. So right now, we're not going to do anything with our JS file, but let's start with HTML, and then we'll go to CSS. By the way, this is the assignment my CS1030 class is working on right here. So this is that assignment. So this is what I want, 2 points each for a 10-point assignment, and I'll teach you how to do all these things. So first, let's start with HTML tags, HTML tags just tell the browser, the internet browser, when to start making text, doing something with text, and when to stop. So the first HTML tag is just the HTML tag, which says start interpreting this language as HTML. And then almost every time, there are tags that are exceptions, and we're even going to get to them. But almost every time you start something in HTML, you have to tell it when to stop doing that. And so it's very good practice in all of computer programming to always end your division right away. So if you open it, close it right then and there. If you get in the habit of doing that, you will love me later on in life. Open it, close it, and then anything goes between. So now anything I code is going to go between those two tags. Then in HTML, we start with called a head tag. A head tag is not what appears on your website. It's special information the browser needs to know in order to interpret this website correctly. So one of the head tags is a title tag. This is just the title of your website. And I'm going to name it My Awesome Website. That's my title. The title will also go up here. It's what goes up here. So that's not true in REPL. You won't see it, but they put it up here. So that's a helpful thing. You can also save an image as your title, and they'll put a picture up here. See this little picture up here? So that's kind of cool. And then you can do a link tag, which is what we're going to do. We are going to link this website to the style sheet down here. What that looks like, and I have it, should have it right in one of these. You know what? I don't. It created it for you, so you probably have it, but it's something like link href equals style.css, and then you need to define the relationship equals style sheet, and that's pretty much all you need. I think you probably have one more in there that just tells the type of thing it is. So this is creating a relationship to our CSS file and saying, get your clothes from this file, get your appearance from this file. It's your style sheet, it's your closet, and so look there for your style. And then we're going to, I think we're going to end our head, which I should have done earlier, breaking my own rules. It helps to keep things separated so that you can see them easy. So it helps to kind of put an extra space and to tab things in. Now we're going to do what's called an H1. H1 is a basic heading. It's a pre-saved heading format, and we're going to say hello world. Hello world is I don't know why. It keeps doing that, and I don't know why it keeps doing that. Hello world is a tradition in computer programming. Anytime you're programming in a new language, you're learning how to get that language to say hello world, to introduce itself to the world. So there we go. H1, big black letters. It's a heading, so we put it in big and black, and we said hello world. Now there's also an H2 heading, which is a smaller heading. We're going to say nice to meet you. So I'm used to coding in another language. That's why I keep making all these mistakes. So nice to meet you, slower. There's 6 headings. We can even do an H3 now and say I'm HTML text. That's kind of redundant because HTML is a text language. And end H3. And so he's introducing himself to the world, right? And you see how it gets smaller and smaller. So kind of fun. We can also change the color. We can make my text blue. Run it there. Color equals blue. I think no, that should have worked. So I have it over here. Font color equals blue. Oh, apparently we need to put that outside. And then remember, anytime you open it, you have to close it. So we're going to say stop making it. So this is saying start making it blue. Stop making it blue. There you go. And down here, we can do font. Now remember, these colors are different in different browsers. So what's red might be different hues of red. It's actually not that, it's end font. So yeah, now it's red. And we can make this one yellow. And you have to put it in parentheses. We'll learn why in a later lesson when we get into actual computer programming with Java. So there we go. Now we have it in blue. Yeah, isn't that cool? Then you have your body tag. Your body tag is just whatever goes in the body of your website, but it's in the body tag that we define things like background color. And I have it over here for you. So style equals background color yellow. That's going to drown out my yellow font right here. So I might change it to green, but let's paste it there. So now I'm saying style equals the background color should be, and I'm going to change it to green. And we'll see if it worked. So it always takes 2 or 3 tries to get anything to work. Just know that. That's computer coding. Always takes me a few tries. I always have to double check. So I'm just teaching you good problem solving. So yeah, there we go. We have a nice little green. Notice this is kind of an awkward color of green. It interpreted that. I wasn't thinking it would be that color of green. It could have been other greens. And then we end the body. And so yeah, you can play around with that. And we can create a body and all of those things. So I'm going to type a big paragraph here. Yep, there you go. Such a long paragraph, it goes automatically to the other line so that you can see that it runs automatically to the other line. Okay, so now I'm going to run it and see how that. And if I change the size of my browser window, you see how it condensed there and stretched out there. So that's okay if it's a paragraph, but what if I'm making a list, or what if I want to enter down? Well, there's 2 ways we can do that. One is we just add, and notice if I space this apart, I'm going to write 3 sentences. All right, so there you go. Now notice they're spaced apart up here, but when I hit run, they're not spaced apart down there. That's because white space means nothing in computer language. When you're writing in a program, the white space does not translate over to whatever you're programming. So we actually have to tell the program to break the line, and that's called a break tag. It's breaking the line down. So now when we run it, now they're on 3 different lines. But what if I want those lines to be double spaced? I have to add yet one more break. Notice break is one of those tags that doesn't need an ending tag. So now, now they're double spaced. I could even triple space them if I want. You just use break tags. The other way I could do that is use what's called a list. And there's 2 types of lists. There's an unordered list. Remember, when you open it, it's a good practice to close it right then. Unordered list means it doesn't matter what the numbers are or what the order is. An ordered list numbers it and tells you what the numbers are. So I'm going to list the things I ate yesterday. I ate a bagel. I ate a piece of pizza. I drank a latte. I ate a sandwich, which was really good, by the way. I love sausage sandwiches. I ate an apple. Okay, so now when I run, notice that it didn't even put them on different lines. That's because you also have to separate the line items. So you have to use what's called a line item tag. And you have to use it before and after every item on your list. So, which gets kind of tedious, but it's important because the computer program doesn't know how to read white space. So we have to begin line item and end line item on every single one. And now it will even add bullet points for us. And there we go. Apple, it's because it has a typo. Watch your typos. It's very important you type things correctly. So just to show you what an ordered list looks like now, we're going to create an ordered list. And I'm just going to copy and paste these things. Copy. And then under my unordered list, I'll paste and type and ordered list. And now it will number them. That's the difference between an unordered and an ordered list. So now they're numbered. So really cool things. A couple more things I want to show you here. Stick with me as I want to show you how to do pictures and YouTube videos, which is really fun as well. So we're still in the body, and I showed you all that, but I'm going to put the picture right up here at the beginning. So enter that down. I'm going to show you how to do a picture. It's called an image tag, IMG. And all you need is the source of where the picture is. So if the picture is saved in the same folder as the website over here, then it will just pop up. Like it will just, all you need is the picture's name, the file name that the picture is. If the picture is online though, it gets more complicated. So over here I have some Batman stuff. That's actually in YouTube. I have some Batman pictures. And so I'm going to find a Batman picture. And you know, I'm going to do Keaton's Batman. Keaton's an awesome Batman. So it's not as easy as copy or even copy link address. We want copy image address. So every picture on the internet is saved in a specific spot. Any picture in the internet has a location where just that picture is saved, not the website where it is presented, but the actual location where it is saved. That's the address of the image. To get a really good image address that isn't massive, it's good to go to the actual website and copy the image address. And then up here in our REPL, the source equals wherever that is. So there, right there, that is the address where that picture is saved. Now when I run it, for some reason I have to hit it twice. Oh, there we go. Now he is. But notice how massive he is. Well, in the image tag, there's an attribute. By the way, these are called attributes. Anything in purple is called an attribute. In an image tag, we can add things like width equals 300 pixels and height equals 300 pixels. And now when I run it, it shrinks him down and stretches him out. So we could also make him a little bit more rectangular and make the width 400 and kind of stretch the picture back out. So there we go. See that? So you can add a width and a height to it. You can actually add all kinds of other attributes, things. You can actually add borders to pictures in HTML. We're not going to do that right now. So that's easy how you do a picture. You just have to make sure you grab the image address, the place on the internet where the image is actually saved, the address of it. Remember, everything on the internet has an address. Every image, every video, every website, any user accessing it, everybody has a website. And then, so that's pictures. Then we can do a YouTube video, and YouTube videos are even easier. Here's a video of I'm Batman's.
Good grammar and spelling are important, but if you want to write essays that inspire...
Bam. So 4 minutes, 35 seconds of people saying I'm Batman, the I'm Batman Super Cup, which by the way is awesome. We're going to share. You want to say share, and then you want to say embed. Embedding is a computer term that just means you are putting something in the bed of another thing. You're embedding it, you're putting it in the same bed as something else. So we are putting this in our website, which is the bed. It's like climbing into bed. This is going to climb into our website's bed. And all you need to do is copy this right there. Make sure you get the dashes. I'm going to copy them and paste them over, and then I'll talk you through what they mean. Iframe is creating a miniature website in your website. It's a very versatile and fun little tag. It creates a mini website in a big website. And so we're creating a little website that's just going to show this video. Width and height I already talked about. Source I already talked about. Don't put a border on it. Allow the website to accelerate it, autoplay it. All these things don't really matter, but they're there, so we'll just leave them. Allow full screen. Now when I run it, there it is. Right there. We can change the width and height too. In fact, what's fun is we can make it like 50 pixels. We can make YouTube videos 50 pixels by 50 pixels and make it really teeny tiny. Oh, I actually had it. Yeah, see how... Oh, actually it did. Oh, because I did that on the image. Anyway, but there's Batman EDB tiny. We can make the YouTube video that tiny too. So really fun stuff. So that's HTML. Your website has to have, it's right here, at least 20 tags representing 10 different functions, meaning you can repeat tags. You can use every tag twice. I taught you how to embed a movie, and I taught you a picture. I taught you how to do a background color or picture. Easy peasy. Now let me just show you how CSS works real quick. CSS is a lot of fun. So in CSS, you get to name styles, and you get to name them whatever you want. So CSS allows you to create HTML tags. All these tags are things someone else has created for you. The HTML tag, the head, the title, the H1, the H2, all those things people have created for you. But in CSS, you can actually create a tag. You can actually name it after yourself. I'm going to create a tag named Kevin, right? And then we use little curly brackets, which is what most computer languages use, by the way. We're going to use these little curly brackets, and in the brackets, we're going to define our style. Define that style so that anything tagged with Kevin is automatically going to be that style. So over here, if we click to CSS, actually didn't put anything right there. Oh, of course I didn't. So right here, we're going to create a background dash style. And instead of equals, we use a colon. So now we're going into more computer language. I think we can use background color. And it gives you all the colors right here, which is kind of cool. So we're just going to say dark red. And then you separate the attributes with a semicolon. So now anything named Kevin will have a dark red background. So let's go back to our index file. And I'm going to go up here. And I'm going to say now, instead of font color equals blue, that's okay. So instead of that, though, I am also going to start Kevin. And right down here, after I end the font color, I'm going to end the Kevin color. Now when I run it, yeah, it put my little red background behind H1. Isn't that cool? So anything that's between Kevin is going to have that red background. So that's kind of cool. Another thing you can do real quick is you can also do a center tag, meaning center it, and it will center it on the web page, wherever the web page is. So yep, there we go. Notice the center overrode the Kevin. That's fascinating to me. I didn't think it would do that. So anyway, that's kind of very fascinating. You're going to run into little problems like that because computer programs are what they are. So yeah, over here you can create little style tags, right? You can create a background color. I think if we just do font, all kinds of things we can do there. These are very helpful things, right? I think it's font dash color in CSS. And blue, maybe that'll work. We'll just run it. Oh, there's no way of testing it because the font color was already blue, and because center overrode it. So I'm going to take the center tag out. Oh, and this is still purple because I didn't close my tag. So now I don't know. It's always curious to see. So it actually didn't. It's not font color. It's something, there's a font color tag, so you just have to play. Oh, there it came back. So it is just color blue. So yeah, just play around with it, have fun. I wanted, I think I said 4 styles over here, but they don't have to be much. So they only need 1 attribute. So that's just to get you to play around with it. Have fun with this assignment. This has been a long tutorial, but hopefully you learned something. And hopefully you have some fun with this assignment. Remember, I do want this to be about you, your hobbies, interests, your favorite things. So have fun with it. Let me know how it goes. Thanks.